The story begins with the United States announcing a major new security initiative in the Caribbean and across parts of Latin America. According to Washington, the purpose of this deployment is to combat so-called narco-terrorism, a term that U.S. defense officials have increasingly used to describe drug trafficking organizations they argue operate with territorial influence and significant firepower. In this new phase, the United States has confirmed the deployment of the USS Gerald R aircraft carrier strike group, one of the most advanced naval assets in the world, accompanied by its carrier air wing, guided missile destroyers, support vessels, and intelligence capabilities. The decision marks a notable escalation of U.S. military posture in the region and has triggered intense political reactions, especially from Venezuela. The Pentagon states that the operation is framed under the goal of dismantling transnational criminal networks that move narcotics through maritime corridors stretching from the Caribbean Sea to the Pacific coastline of Latin America. Spokespersons described the mission as an evolution of anti-trafficking efforts that have existed for decades, but with upgraded capacity, technology, and rules of engagement. Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell declared that the deployment is in direct support of the president's directive to counter narco-terrorism in defense of the homeland. U.S. officials argue that criminal groups operating in the region have grown more sophisticated, employing encrypted communications, semi-submersible vessels, and logistical networks that make interdiction more challenging. The United States has expressed its view that the presence of a carrier group will expand surveillance, interception speed, and deterrence. However, Venezuela views the development in a completely different light. According to the government of President Nicolás Maduro, the deployment is not about narcotics nor crime. Maduro has publicly stated that Washington is inventing a war in the Caribbean in order to justify pressure on Venezuela's political system and government. In several televised speeches, he has rejected U.S. accusations and described the operation as a hostile act intended to destabilize Venezuela and potentially lay the groundwork for regime change. Maduro's statements characterize the U.S. mission as an effort to militarize the region and apply geopolitical force under the pretext of counter-narcotics. They are inventing a new eternal war, Maduro said. They promised they would never get involved in another war, and they are inventing a war that we are going to prevent. His message suggests that he sees the U.S. operation as part of a long historical pattern where military deployments accompany political pressure campaigns.